Antikam Vandegam Sri Guru Sri Yuddha Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sakana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitam Cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी दिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रतायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु भयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनदारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामी नामने। Hare Krishna. Once again, I welcome all of you. Where is the meeting control? Okay. Is my PPT and everything is visible? Thank you, Sushila, Gayatri, Madhuri, Pooja, Mataji, Shobana, Vaidyanathan, Sankarshan Prabhu. Thank you very much. So today I'll be covering chapter 3 of Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. Today main topic is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Now just now we saw in the video those who had joined earlier, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and he is the spiritual master for Srila Prabhupada. Now just a quick recap. Last week we have seen that how Prabhupada was establishing so many temples, so many sannyasis in the first week one at the age of 70. And the week two, we saw his childhood pastimes, college, how he is attending various colleges and things like that. But a person who prepared himself for more than 40 years for this journey, at the age of 70, he went for only one reason. Prabhupada said, my spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, told me to preach in the West. He took it so seriously, his instruction. He was preparing, even though he's Grihastha, he can't just quit and go because he had a family, children. So he has his business. So he was doing his duty properly, but always he was preparing himself, reading Bhagavad Gita, writing lectures, giving pravachan. He was trying to print the books. So he was preparing himself for 40 years just for one instruction, which we got at the age of very early age. He got this instruction that you go and preach to the Western world. Was one spiritual instruction to a disciple, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Look at it, that message, that request from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur made us sitting and now listening to this katha. Entire world, there are more than 50, 60 thousands of devotees, lakhs and lakhs of devotees across. You take any continental, Africa, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, you take it, South America, North America, Canada, you name the place, even the place where sun cannot go, all the places the devotees are there, just because this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had a desire, strong desire. This Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava, had a strong desire that Srila Prabhupada should spread this message. They are not no less. He is very eminent scholarly person. So I will be briefing today about little bit on Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur because it is appropriate in this chapter. Prabhupada first time is meeting his guru. So once that introduction is happens, I will brief give a sketch of Bhaktivinoda Thakur as well as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. These two prominent Acharya has done tremendous contribution. We never know what kind of contribution they have made. Without them, this foundation was not laid by them. This Krishna conscious would have not been spread, because that time you've seen the video, there were so many tantric brahmanas people, they were diverting people, they are calling themselves god, and they're doing all the nonsensical activities, and nobody is promoting Vaishnavism, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cult. He single-handedly fought, these two people single-handedly fought. We'll be seeing some of the videos, wonderful, you will be just amazed to see the knowledge and the wealth and the contribution they have done to the society. With that base, Prabhupada could build, and he is able to preach to the entire world. So that's just simply because we should be grateful to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling this Hare Krishna movement is not a Hindu culture. It is not only for Hindus. It is not only for Indians. It is benefit for the humankind. Please understand. In those days, earlier days, there was one Sanatana Dharma. There was one king. From Ayodhya, the entire world was ruled. Either it is Mahabharata, Yudhishthira, or other Chakravartis, they're all ruling from India. India as the world headquarters here. Then they used to rule all Africa, Europe, Australia, everything, right? Afghanistan, that's where Gandhari comes from, Gandhara Desh. That's where Dhritarashtra married Gandhari. So you can see Australia is named after Australia, where they kept all the weapons. So this all, if you can see, go to Cambodia and other places, you can see Vishnu idol. Somebody can ask, where is this places? Bali, if you go, and other places, you can see Garuda, Lord Vishnu's deities. It has been archaeologically found. Some people are hiding it to hide the truth, but it is prominent. It is evident that India was the capital city for the culture, and India's king ruled all over the world. So now this Sanatana Dharma, we are calling now as ISKCON, we might Brahma Bandhava Sauda Gaudiya Sampradaya, we are naming it. But please understand, what you're trying to learn is for the entire humanity. It not does not depend on the caste, creed, community, religion. It is beyond the religion. Hare Krishna movement is beyond religion. It is not a Hindu cult. Please understand, this is beyond everything. It is for every human being. So they have done a greatest contribution. That's what we're going to see today. Now, Prabhupada had a friend called Narendra Nath. So he was best friend from the college. Both of us were together, and they were exchanging. Last time also we seen the videos. He closely exchanging his feelings about marriage and things like that. So he said he insisted. He was going to this Gaudiya Mutt, which was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur having. Prabhupada was not aware of this. But he insisted his friend, why don't you go and meet this sadhu? But Prabhupada and his father, they have seen many, many sadhus in their life. His father's duty is that every day he would bring 2 or 3 guests. His mother has to cook, Prabhupada would watch them. But these bogus gurus, sometimes what they do is, Prabhupada has seen personally himself. Next door, there was one Baba, one beggar. What he will do is he will dress up like a sannyasi, he will go and beg, because that's how the people were cheating. And he has seen many bogus gurus, they come, but they go outside and smoke ganja, bidi. So they have a woman's relationship, they do ganja, so all the stuff Prabhupada seen, but they will be in the form of sannyasi or renunciant. Prabhupada is fed up with this. I said, I don't want to come. I know who are they. I respect them, but I don't want to involve in this. I've started my business. I want to work on the pharmaceutical business. But his friend, he was insisting, he was forcing. Prabhupada was thinking, why Naren is forcing something like this? Hare Krishna, there are 2 block rectangles over the presentation. Okay, thank you, Vaidhi Prabhu. I will just hide them. Okay, that should go. Now that should also go. Okay, that's for me to keep checking the chat message. That's okay. So Abhay, he was forced But Prabhupada felt, what is this? Naren is, because he's a friend anyhow, he can have the liberty. But he said, he is not that kind of sadhu. Please come, at least for me. So he reluctantly agreed, and Prabhupada moves on to meet this sadhu who is in Ulta Danga. Ulta Danga, please remember, this is one of the holiest places. So this is the place. You can see left side there is a building which are almost demolished kind of a picture. It's called Ulta Danga. This is in Calcutta. So this is the place where the Gaudiya headquarters was established by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He used to come here and he used to preach. This time we are all talking in the 1930s or 1940s before independence, right? So these are almost 1935, something like that, around that time. So he used to preach, and this is the place Naren was taking him. Now I am happy to announce that this place, after a long struggle, ISKCON has got this place, because wherever there is a Prabhupada did some his Leela, so ISKCON is trying to get to all those holy places, his birthplace. So similarly, this is the Ulta Tanga Road, which is very, very important place where he first met his eternal spiritual master, it's Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So and they are trying to now trying to slowly renovate this. Funds are flowing, and now there is a place where when we go there, we can go and see this place where this initial conversation was happened. So this is to give you a picture of the place where this has happened. Now, so there is a very, very important meeting happening. So Prabhupada goes, he pays obeisances. As soon as he sits, he gets up. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati directly looked at Srila Prabhupada and he said, you are educated young man, why don't you preach Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message throughout the world? This is the first statement. He's looking at Prabhupada, and as soon as he sat, he's asking the first question. And Prabhupada was got really shock of his life. Somebody is asking directly question. I just came in. I don't. He doesn't know who am I, but he just asking this question. Then Prabhupada was that time. I told you we seen the last week how he was Gandhi was influenced by Gandhiji, and he rejected his degree to boycott his degree. So he said, "Who will hear you Chaitanya's message?" Abhay asked. We need to become independence first. Then India once got independent, then we can spread our own. We are our king. We can spread whatever we want. Now we are under British rule. How do you think this can message spread? Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gave a fitting argument back saying, Krishna conscious movement cannot wait for this. What do you think if by coming Indians you will improve? Any ruler it will be the same, the people are different, that's all, but there will be no difference. To be honestly speaking, some people say if we would have been a British rule under, we would have grown much bigger or much faster, because we have seen that last 50 years India would have grown such a extent. We would have beaten US, America, and other people. What we don't have, we don't have wealth, we don't have natural resources, or don't we have people, or we don't have intelligent people. You take any people in the Microsoft or any Google or any other foreign abroad company, NASA, it will be one of the Indian who would be leading this. Are we shortage of knowledge? Are we shortage of people? What is that not there in India? The only one reason is not there is the leadership, right? Whoever rules it, right, we are like that, we'll never change. So Bhakti Siddhanta the Thakur knew exactly 50 years back. He knew that whoever whatever government we form, we might get independence, but so what? Things have not changed, right? But we see that individually everybody is doing a great. All the Indians are all over the world, they are doing great. Why? We have that such a capability. We have such a billionaires, millionaires in our India. If you put together top 10 Indian billionaires, you take, right, that money is sufficient for to eradicate the entire India's poverty for another 200, 300 years. They have such a wealth. In India only we have such a multi-billionaires are there. You just take that money, give it to everyone. We don't need to struggle like this. That much wealth we have. What is not there in India? So he said, doesn't depend on the ruler. It doesn't matter. Such a message, convincing message, Prabhupada struck, and he just got defeated. And Prabhupada used to proudly say, all his friends, I got defeated with this person. He liked it, his argument, and he thought this bhakti cult is in safe hands. It's called Simha Guru because he was preaching like that. So without delay, I would just quickly show this video so that you can connect with this statement what I'm speaking. A short video. Then I will go on to the small biography of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So just give me a minute, and also let me know if you're able to hear voice. If not, please ping me.
कभी आएंगे।
Are you able to hear
दुनियादारी में मनुष्य को जो लाभ दिखाई देता है
and
वो
watch?
मनुष्य के लिए हानिकारक भी हो सकता
Can can somebody respond?
Audio is there, Prabhuji. Video is not there.
Video is not there. Okay, 1 second. That's because I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, stop share. Share again. Video, my screen. Okay, perfect. Now hide control. Okay, now you should be able to see.
है परंतु श्री चैतन्य
Is it
महाप्रभु
okay?
और उनके
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you.
प्राप्त हुआ वो मनुष्य के नित्य कल्याण के लिए ही है और ये लाभ केवल एक देश या एक जाति के लिए ही नहीं है बल्कि ये सारे जगत के लिए हितकारी है। इसलिए श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की वाणी का प्रचार करना हम सबका परम कर्तव्य है। तुम पढ़े लिखे हो, तुम श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की वाणी का प्रचार क्यों नहीं करते?
जी मैं?
हाँ तुम जाओ दुनिया के कोने कोने में प्रचार करो, यही तुम्हारा परम कर्तव्य है।
जी मैं क्षमा चाहता हूं, लेकिन आज के इस वातावरण में हमें सुनेगा कौन? जबकि देश का बच्चा बूढ़ा जवान हर कोई देश को आजाद कराने में लगा हुआ है।
तुम ठीक कहते हो, देश को स्वतंत्र कराना भी एक कर्तव्य है, किंतु ये परम कर्तव्य नहीं। तुम क्या समझते हो, अंग्रेजों से स्वतंत्रता पाकर तुम स्वतंत्र हो जाओगे? राज करने वाले बदल जाएंगे किंतु राजनीति नहीं बदलेगी। मैं जिस स्वतंत्रता की बात कर रहा हूं वो राजनीतिक सीमाओं के बंधन से मुक्त है। इस भौतिक जगत की हर चीज अस्थाई है, केवल कृष्ण भक्ति ही नित्य सत्य है। मनुष्य का बनाया हुआ राजनीतिक नियम कभी भी मनुष्य के लिए लाभकारी नहीं हो सकता। ये वैदिक शास्त्र और गुरु शिष्य परंपरा का अभिनिर्णय है, और जब मनुष्य अपने नाशवान भौतिक शरीर और जन्मभूमि को ही पूज्य समझने लगता है तब वो मिथ्या धारणा में खो जाता है, और इस संसार का हर नेता उसे इस मिथ्या धारणा से बाहर आने ही नहीं देता। मनुष्य तो क्या, हर जीव का स्वरूप केवल नित्य कृष्णदास का है। इसलिए मनुष्य का परम कर्तव्य है कि वो इस बात को समझे और औरों को समझाए। कृष्ण भक्ति को भारतीय राजनीतिक परिवर्तन के लिए प्रतीक्षा की आवश्यकता नहीं। कृष्ण भक्ति का प्रचार इतना आवश्यक है कि यह किसी के लिए रुक नहीं सकता। इसलिए तुम्हारे जैसे पढ़े लिखे युवक को इस बात को समझना और औरों को समझाना बहुत ही आवश्यक है। अच्छा, अब इस सभा को हम यही समाप्त करते हैं। हरे कृष्ण। अब आप लोग मेरे साथ बोलिए, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
Okay, so um, so that's what we have seen, and this one statement made the revolution in the world. That Prabhupada took it so seriously, his first message, and that's how serious of Prabhupada guru-disciple relationship. We should not take it Guru's message lightly because he was speaking. Because we have seen the first day, I was to tell you that every town and village this message will spread. It was predicted in the Shastras. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur knew that Srila Prabhupada is going to spread this message. He knew it already. So he knows the Shastras. He know that this message will spread all over the world. That's why he was telling. So Prabhupada told two things. I have learned only two things from my Guru. Remaining all I have learned it from my father. What is the two things? One is that spreading of this mission and printing books. How to spread this book, printing books. That was the two things he learned it from his Guru. Otherwise, He know how to play mridanga. He knows the Vaishnava culture. He knows what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knew everything Radha Krishna. What he said, everything. He knows this philosophy. What he did not knew is that this message need to be spread. The preaching, how to do the preaching. Second thing is that how to print books. These are the two things which he took it from his divine grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Prabhupada is telling, I was from a Vaishnava family, so I could appreciate what he was preaching. Of course, he was speaking to everyone, but he found something in me, and I was convinced about his argument and the mode of presentation. I was so much struck with wonder, I could understand. Here is the proper person who can give real religious idea. Prabhupada's outlook towards his guru was completely changed. He said, I'm happy and I've accepted him, Manasika Guru. He's not officially told, but he said, I've accepted him, Guru. He's a very nice, saintly person. Then Prabhupada, he decided that, then he started going to that place, asking his disciple, what is his lifestyle, what is his life history, and started more learning from his. So, to give a brief introduction before we talk about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his father is very, very important to understand his lifestyle. There is one thing struck, whatever we can apply. See, what I'm speaking is a practical application. It's not just autobiography which I'm speaking. Of course, every time I would talk about the life lessons in between the lessons based on their following the footsteps of acharyas. It's very simple, very practical. Everybody can put it into life. Time management is the biggest question we everybody asks, right? Somebody says, Prabhu, I don't have time to chant, I don't have time to manage, the work pressure is so much, 14-15 hours are working, on top of it travel. Right now it is COVID, but otherwise we would travel, then take care of the personal family, electricity bill, that bill, whose school fees, whose fees, that buy, you buy this grocery, you manage your family insurance, then you have health care to take care, do a physical exercise, attend birthday party, marriages. Where is the time out of 24 hours to spend? So now a question I will ask you everyone. Out of 24 hours in a day, what do you think, or what should be the time you should be spending? I'm not asking how much time you are spending. I'm asking, as ideal person, how much time one should spend for spiritual activity. What do you think? How many hours we should spend? 5 minutes? 5 hours? 2 minutes? 2 hours? What is the range? Or if you don't know, you can just guess. What do you think? How much time we can spare, or how much time we should be ideally doing it in spiritual activity? What do you, any guesses? How much time we should spend? We know this is the ultimate truth, right? We know that bhakti is the only way we can go back to God. So how much hours in a day we should spend? Anybody? That's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. You can try. How many hours we should spend in a day on spiritual activities? I don't know. Everybody is silent. Can somebody try?
Half an hour or 1 hour.
Half an hour to 1 hour. Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Any other objection to this, or any other counter argument to half an hour to 1 hour? Because that let it be
24 hours,
practical.
Prabhuji.
24 hours. My
Yes,
God.
working, eating, sleeping, all remembering Krishna and doing chanting everywhere. Krishna is there. Our breath is Krishna.
Okay, you're telling 24 hours. Somebody telling half an hour, somebody telling 24 hours. So this Vaishnava Acharyas, you see his schedule. He's not an ordinary person. He is one of us, like among us, like us, not like us in sense. He is also Grahastha. He was not a sannyasi. We all have one or two children maximum. You would have seen your parents having 4 or 5 or maximum 7. He had 10 children. Can you imagine? Bhaktivinoda Tagore had 10 children, and he is not that he's not taken care of them. He took care of very well his family, number one. Number two, he is not from normal business or background. He's also working like us. Like software engineers, we work. He also worked for a government. He was a magistrate judge. Such a post he had. He has a topmost post in British, because they would go. That is the topmost thing they can give. Other things, the administration they would take care. They had so much faith. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's specialty is In a day, you would see 50, 100 cases easily will close it. In our government, we see any case, it will minimum 10 years, there will be still no result coming out. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is such an expert. As soon as one hearing, one sitting, he would close the file. He would know what is happening with them. Such a capability, and British were astonished. They said, "You are the right person. Please help us." And they respect him like anything. So he was a top magistrate. He has a family. He has a top magistrate post, and still look at his contribution to the society. It is unimaginable what is he has done. He's written thousands of literature. Basically, that's what Prabhupada translated from Bengali, most of them, and his songs into English based on his teachings. Number one. Number two, he single-handedly fought. That time, this Krishna conscious 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, but after that it was covered up. Nobody was following real Vaishnava Dharma, and anybody follows Vaishnava Dharma, they ridicule them, they don't accept it. The Smarta Brahmana, the so-called Brahmanas, I'm sorry if there are somebody Brahmanas are there. It is not by caste or community. It is by birth. It is by birth, by the quality we judge, decide somebody who is Brahmana or not. So they were not allowing to practice this Vaishnava culture. And there are Appasampradaya, there are so many Appasampradaya, even though they might worship Radha Krishna, they don't follow any four regulative principles. Some of them they compromise it. Sagajiyas, there are so many groups. There are 8 or 9 Appasampradayas they were telling that time, prominent, and nobody knew about Bhagavatam, power of Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti Vinod Thakur single-handedly challenged the entire world, and he stopped this sati, right? Sati means husband as soon as die, they also should die. He fought for women liberation. What not revolution he brought it. You can't imagine that kind of work he has done. So look at his timetable, then you will all know the secret of time management. If somebody wants, we can't imitate him, but something we can try to manage. This half an hour to 1 hour can be easily converted into 2 to 3 hours easily in a day. We save the time. Where we need to save the time, I'll tell you. It's very important. Please listen. He sleeps at 8 p.m. He goes to bed sharp at 8 p.m. and he gets up at 10. The trick is that whatever you sleep between this time, 8 to 11 or 12 or 9 to 12, whatever time you sleep, even 2 hours sleep is equivalent to 8 hours sleep after 12. If you sleep after, let's say, a person who is sleeping 8 to 10, he just sleeps for 2 hours. That is equivalent to that quality, the strong, very deep sleep you go. That is equivalent to a person going to bed at 1 o'clock. He might sleep till next day till 12 o'clock. Still, he will not feel satisfied. You will feel pain, more headache. You will feel very tired. When a person sleeps, why you should feel tired? That's because you are sleeping on the wrong time. Please, anybody wants to go to bed, eat before 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, then go to bed at 8:39. You will automatically get up at 3 or 4 without any problem. You feel more rejuvenated, you feel more enthusiastic, you will be more energetic. And Ayurvedic, you can go and refer any doctor, you can ask any doctor, you can go and ask any Ayurvedic people, they will tell this is the best time to sleep. So the acharyas knew what is the best time to sleep. Anybody sleeps during this time, 8 to 12, whatever rest you get, right? That will be so powerful that even that is equivalent to 10 hours of sleeping later, any part of the day. That is the number one technique. Then he gets up at 10, then start writing till 4 in the 4 a.m. He writes because it is very calm. Srila Prabhupada also followed the same thing. He used to sleep for only 2 hours. He would get up and he would write. Now, 4 o'clock Brahma Muhurta time, they would start. He took some rest because he's been entire day writing 8 hours, and he takes half an hour nap. Then 4:30 p.m. Brahma Muhurta time, he starts Japa chanting. And please note, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur not chanted 16 rounds. They chanted 64 rounds every day. How much? 64 rounds every day. They are not chanting 1 or 2 days 64 like us. When Nirjala Ekadasi comes, sometime we try attempt that also will fail miserably. But they are not like that. Every day they were chanting 64 rounds. Now 7 to 7:30 you would write letters, correspondence, whatever needs to be done, you would do that. 7:30 to 9:30 again you would study Shastras. So he would translate 10 to 4, then again he would read personal reading, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, he would read. Then 9:30 to 10, he take bath, take simple prasadam, and 10 o'clock he's there in the court. Look at him, like 10 o'clock, government office, 10 to 5, he'll be doing government job. And the government is so happy that they set up a railway track only for him, one train for him alone. That train will come in front of his house, then he will take you to the workplace. No, see, the Britishers had such a reverence, such a high esteem for him. They constructed a simple railway only for him and one train for him. Nobody else, nobody will use. He'll in front of his house, 5 minutes, he'll be there in the court. So because they knew that he is very important, his time is important, he would come 10 o'clock, tuck, 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 all the cases he will close. Then afternoon lunch he would come. Again, you go back to 2 to 5, will do court duties. He completed. Again, he comes at 5 to 7. He started translating books again, writing. Then 7 to 8, he took some prasadam, takes bath, then he goes to bed. Now, there are two things which we can simply follow. One is that early to bed, early to rise. This is a common thing which we learned it in the school. You ask any advanced people or any people who even you take a normal karmi who is a businessman, or he could be a prime minister of India, or any people who are in the highest post. They will not be late to bed, late to. They will not be. Most of the people early bed, early to rise. That's a secret of any leader. If you want to even leave the spiritual, you want personally also, you want to succeed in material life, please follow early to bed, early to rise, because you get rejuvenated so much. And eat the food before sunset if possible. If not, worst case by 7:30, like that, you should finish off your food. That will give some time to digest, number one. Number two, when you sleep, when you take rest, all your body parts, whatever cells are died or some injury happened, that is the time the body will try to correct it. See, if you eat very late, what happens is mind is very tensed. Why? It has to digest and push out the stuff out. Otherwise, it will become poison. A lot of gas and everything will be formed. You get a lot of diseases. So mind job is worried. As soon as you eat, it has to digest, and within 1 or 2 hours, it has to send it out of the body. That is the main objective. But if you have a lot of other internal problem, it will self heal. The body has the tendency to self heal, but we don't give time. If we eat a little early, what happens? Body gets sufficient time to self heal. When you sleep, it will heal all the body parts internally. Whatever happening, it will heal. Then you will feel healthy. This is the secret. Scientific reason also. Material also. If you want to progress, you want to succeed in your life, early bed, early to rise. Number one. Number two, chanting the japa in the Brahma Muhurta time. I know there are a lot of difficulties for some Matajis. That's okay, because you might have a morning, you have to cook and things like that. But wherever possible, anybody is possible, please try to chant in the morning hours before 10. Whatever you could able to chant, that will be equivalent to like a very powerful chanting you do. Later part of time, you do whatever you want. It's very difficult. So somehow you need to adjust your schedule, that early morning before 10 at least you should try to complete your japa. Then Shastra study. At least read one page of Srila Prabhupada. I told you last time we had a quiz also. There are 18,000 slokas in Bhagavatam. Every day one you read. It takes many years. Now I'm in the mid 40s. If I have to read one sloka also, I will not survive. I will not live for another 40 years. I don't know. I may not complete Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada read to Chaitanya Charitamrita, another 11,000 verses, Bhagavad Gita, another 700 verses, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, Beyond Birth and Death. There are so many books he wrote. When do I read? Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written Bhajan Ragasya, which I'm doing every Saturday. Most of them from the chanting I'm taking from his book called Bhajan Ragasya. Amazing book. The Acharya has written so much. Your life is not sufficient to read such a volume of books they have. You don't know. If I show you the volume, you will go mad. Such a wonderful literatures they're given, and we don't have time. We should take out some time to study Srila Prabhupada. If we do this properly and take prasadam, our life will become perfect. Krishna will find you such a way that your environment is conducive. There are not so many problems outside your family, and within the job there is not much of problem, because you're trying to please Krishna, you're trying to chant. What happens automatically when you follow this? Krishna will settle right all the material things. If you don't chant properly, you will have more problem in material as well as spiritual, because we have done so much karma that karma can be only modified or can be changed only if Krishna is willing. There's nothing we can do about it. So you have predestined work, you have predestined money, you have predestined father. You don't know what time you will take birth, who's your son. Everything is predestined. You can't change it. But following this, using our free will, doing this Hare Krishna Mahamantra Japa and trying to please Krishna, that's the only way we can at least change our future destiny, number one. Existing destiny, at least we can give it to Krishna to handle it. He would see what can be done, right? So these are simple things you follow. It is a success formula for both material and spiritual. It is not that when you get up early morning, spiritual only do, you will failure in success. No, most of the people, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the example, classic example, how materially he was powerful. He was very, very prominent person. The entire city would respect him so much. He is a magistrate. Look at his time schedule. This is what we can learn. And everybody take one point. Please apply. Try to apply this. I know it is very difficult, but you start applying it. At least one point which I've told. Either it is eating early, going to bed early, doing chapa before 10 o'clock, and reading at least one page of Srila Prabhupada, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. Out of this, anyone you can pick up, you take Sankalpa for next 21 days and try to do it. After 21 days, it will become habit. You don't need to worry about it. Continuously, if consistently, if you can do just only 21 days, 22nd day, automatically you will do it. So at least take any one of the good point and start doing it. Now, coming to the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Who is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? He is the, as I mentioned, he had 10 children. One of the children is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur prayed to Krishna, Krishna, I want to spread your message. I need your son. See, we can have 10,000 children also, 10 children also, no problem. There are having as many as children, there is no problem. In fact, we should have, as long as we can deliver them to Krishna consciousness. If we are not bring up our child to Krishna consciousness, we should not be calling ourselves father and mother. We should not be having child. That is the idea. Bhaktivinoda Thakur want to spread this entire world, this message of Bhagavad Gita. He was asking, Lord, praying. Then Vimala Prasad was born in Jagannath Puri. That time he was working in Jagannath Puri before he is moving to Bengal. So 1874, February 6th, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was born. As soon as he is born, there was Ratha Yatra after 6 months was happening. You all know Jagannath Puri Ratha Yatra, which is going to happen shortly. Right, in this month it is going to happen. Now it is Snana Yatra we completed. Now the big Ratha Yatra is going to happen. I don't know, Puri lockdown, but still they will do it. Without people, they will do it. So during Ratha Yatra, what happened? The cart did not move. He was staying on the cart road, and Ratha stopped in front of his Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house for 3 days. It did not move. And after his mother brought Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur placed on the cart of Jagannath, a garland fell from Jagannath on his neck. Then the cart moved. Even Lord stopped and waited for this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to come to Ratha. 3 days it was standing. No, people are trying to push elephant king. No, the Ratha cannot be pulled. See the wonderful, amazing personalities, our acharyas. These are not normal persons. Why I am telling is our parampara is very, very rich in culture and knowledge. This Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is there. No, it is not a normal lineage. So then his father brought him. Then he sees determination. He was very, very young child, 4 years. Generally, kids, what will do? If they see chocolate, they'll put it in the mouth immediately. If they see nice sweet, they'll put it. He liked mangoes. He just took the mango. His father told Vimal Prasad, how can you eat this without offering to Krishna? He just asked him mildly. He did not chastise him heavily, but he asked him, you should not eat. How can you eat it? He took a sankalpa. In my lifetime, I will never eat mangoes. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at the age, he took sankalpa that he will not eat mangoes because he offered once without offering to Krishna. Look at his determination. Lifelong, he never ate mango. Lifelong, he never ate mango. Then age of 25, he became a well-versed in Sanskrit, mathematics, astronomy. Surya Siddhanta is amazing scholar. So whatever Vaishnava calendar we have, it is all based on his information, his prediction, his Surya Siddhanta, his calculation. Whatever astronomy we know, It is only because of him. That is his contribution. We have a Vaishnava calendar. You can search it. We know all our Ekadasi and other things we follow. That basic calendar was given by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It was so expert. I don't know. We can have one day Surya Siddhanta only. It will tell distance between Earth, Moon. Those days, the scientists before even finding out, this is written in the Shastras. What is the distance between Sun and Moon and Moon and Earth? All those predictions, whatever it is there in Surya Siddhanta. If anybody is able to catch hold of Surya Siddhanta book, anybody interested in astronomy, you should read that book, written by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was very expert in so much languages. It's not only that he was very, very expert in English. If you read his magazines, Harmony he was publishing, my God, his English is so high class that we can't even British scholars cannot understand his English. Is such an intelligent, brilliant Vaishnava. At the age of 26, his father guided him to take initiation from Gaurakishore Das Babaji. Then in 1905, he took a vow that he would chant 1 billion times Hare Krishna mantra. 1 billion times. It is not a million, it is a billion. 1 billion. 10 lakh, 10 crore mantras. 10 crore Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He took a vow. He was sat in the small hut. Rain was happening. 6 months. He didn't bother about it. Or 6 months or 1 year, I don't know. But he sat continuously chanting, absorbed in chanting. See the importance of chanting. He took a vow to chant 1 billion Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. 1911, his father was ill. Then he took up pseudo Vaishnavas. There was a debate was happening. One of the social reformists, the Brahmanas, telling that we are higher than the Vaishnavas. So they invited Bhakti Vinod Thakur out of respect. Please come and help us to talk on this topic. So I will play a video instead of talking about it. You will understand, but it is in Hindi. If you're not able to understand, I will translate it at the end. Let me know if you're able to see this.
I am sure that you are aware that this assembly has been organized for the purpose of removing the conflict between the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. The main speaker of this assembly today, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, could not come because of his illness. However, his son Sri Bimla Prasad has come instead of him, who will represent his father today. We begin the assembly with his speech. Bimal Babu, please come.
Namaskar. My father, Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur, could not be present here because of ill health. I hope you will allow me to speak in his absence. From the Himalaya mountains in the north of India to Kanyakumari in the south, this holy land of Bharat is meant for the path of spiritual progress and realization. And those who guide the spiritual path are known as Brahmanas. It has been mentioned in Mahabharata, what to speak of human beings? Even the demigods offer their obeisances. Brahmanas are equal to fire. They are so powerful that if they want, they can burn this earth to ashes. As a result of their curse, the ocean waters become salty and we can't drink it. Brahmans are like great worshipable devas to us. By the mercy of Brahmins, the demigods reside in heaven. Brahmanas' learned words never go in vain. When Brahmins feel pleasure, the demigods are pleased. The status of the Brahmins is the highest in the world. Therefore, we see, by material calculation, there is no doubt that Brahmins are best among men. However, higher than this is the position of Vaishnavas. Because a Vaishnav is liberated from birth and death. They are free because they have surrendered to Lord Vishnu. One who surrenders unto Lord Vishnu is released from the bondage of material nature. So the position of such a person is extremely elevated and is even higher than those who are situated in the mode of goodness. Those souls who have this deep understanding are extremely rare and are called Vaishnava. Even a person in the mode of goodness cannot understand this, but it is a fact that a man, regardless of how good or pure he may be, is unable to attain the position of a Vaishnava unless he surrenders to Lord Vishnu. This is the highest truth. Therefore come, let us all surrender unto Lord Vishnu.
So this is the debate he attended on instead of his father, how to represent Vaishnavas. Anybody who is following Vishnu, they are called Vaishnavas, they are the highest position. Because Vishnu can only give mukti. There is no one else in the world can give mukti, not even Shiva, not even anybody else, Brahma. No one can give mukti. Mukti can give you only by Vishnu. That's why Vaishnavas are very, very important. Okay, then he's also printing press. He started Brihat Mridanga. That is very, very important thing. He used modern things. He wanted to print more books. And in fact, he sent, before Prabhupada going to America, he's already sent a lot of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching to the world and things like that. Now, let us come to Prabhupada's story. Now, we have seen Bhakti Vinod Thakur, life lessons from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because these are the eminent person. Just one word of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur can create a Prabhupada, turn into Prabhupada, and he dedicated his entire life. Imagine the power of these acharyas. Okay, now British has taken opportunity to arrest Gandhi because there was some protection happened. People were violating rules. British government simply arrested Gandhi. So Prabhupada already lost interest on the Prabhupada movement. He was trying to, after meeting his guru, he was feeling more, oh, I should have not married. If I'm not married, I would have joined this movement. I would have spread immediately. But he knew that he's a family member. He has to take care of his family. But still, he was trying to progress in spiritual life. And Abe, 1922, Prabhupada had his first son. Then he want to become a successful business person. So he want to have a lot of money to give it to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur so that he can spread a lot of mud. He can spread this Krishna conscious movement. He want to give a lot of donation to this movement. So he said, I want to do good business. So again, he expected Dr. Bose to coordinate with him. So he came and he helped this Dr. Bose helped him in the laboratory. And he's kind of Allahabad he moved, and he made his headquarters and trying to bring up his business. That's what happening his lifetime. And so Prabhupada has decided to go big. Then he moved to Allahabad. This is the place, Prayag. We call it as Prayag. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. This is a Triveni Sangam. This is a very, very holy place, amazing place. Abe has chosen this place and he rented few rooms and he settled his family there. Then he would travel around all over the places. In the, he will go in the train to various hotels and stay like that. So I will show you a couple of pictures which was taken in Allahabad. And the first video also I've showed them. At the end of them, I will show you a couple of photographs which it was taken in the Allahabad Prabhupada. Or maybe we can do that later. And please note that Jawaharlal Nehru and Motilal Nehru, his father, they were the customer to the pharmacist what Prabhupada was running. Prabhupada was running Prayag pharmacist. And these are the Nehru used to come and personally, or he would send his people to take the medicines from Prabhupada. So Prabhupada knew all these people because he was running very famous, successful, very, very successful, famous pharmaceuticals that time. So that's how he moved his family and they were all living in Allahabad. Then this business expansion happened. Abhay was traveling frequently North India to expand his sales. He would distribute all his medicines and ask them to sell, and he would go and collect the money like that. And he stayed in the hotels whenever he travel. He would stay in his hotel. So now the why I'm telling this, it might looks normal, but one important life lesson: whatever our current business situation or whatever current work situation, Prabhupada never deviated from his Sanatana Dharma. We were discussing day for yesterday how there are two dharmas. We have Swadharma, another one is Sanatana Dharma. Swadharma is one's responsibility towards family, nation, country, oneself, all the things we need to take care. Second thing is that this Bhagavata Dharma for towards our soul, how to surrender to Krishna, and we are the servant of Krishna trying to servant. These two duties you cannot neglect. You have to do both. You cannot say one I will do, one I don't do. You have to do both. Prabhupada is in a classic example. I'll show you a video where Prabhupada was staying in the hotel. There is no hot water. There's the old days, there's no geyser, right? So they have to burn wood, then hot water they will get it. But Prabhupada would get up at the early morning, he'd take cold bath, then he would start doing prayers. So this is one of the scene from the hotel where Prabhupada was managing, even though he's on the business trip, how he is able to manage both successfully based on the time management which I talked about.
बिरजू बिरजू प्रसाद,
जी बाबू, मैं आया।
तुमने इतनी सुबह जल्दी आग क्यों जला दी? तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि कोयला क्या मुफ्त में आता है?
मैंने आग नहीं जलाई बाबू।
फिर उन्हें गर्म पानी कहां से मिला? क्या आजकल आकाश से गर्म पानी की बरसात हो रही है?
मैं आपसे कह रहा हूं बाबू, मैंने आग नहीं जलाई।
तो फिर कमरा नंबर 7 के उस बाबूजी को गर्म पानी कहां से मिला?
ओ, तो आपका मतलब वे दवाई बाबू? वे जब भी यहाँ आते हैं वे बहुत भोर में ही ठंडे पानी से नहा लेते हैं, सर्दियों में भी।
क्या वे ठंडे पानी से नहाते हैं? ये सोचते ही मेरी हड्डियां तो बस कांपती हैं। मुझे लगा उनके शरीर से गर्म भाप निकलती है।
वे कोई सामान्य मनुष्य नहीं है बाबू, वे जरूर कोई सिद्ध पुरुष हैं। वे पहले नहाते हैं और बाद में पूजा पाठ करते हैं। वे कितना अच्छा गाते हैं। जब बड़े भोर में मैं उनका गाना सुनता हूं तो ऐसा लगता है जैसे जैसे मैंने किसी दूसरे जगत में प्रवेश किया है। हाँ, सुनिए बाबूजी।
जय जय माधव मदन मुरारी, राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम, जय जय केशव.
So that was Prabhupada. He undeviated from his path, irrespective of whatever it is. He performed his Swadharma as well as Sanatana Dharma. This is how we should be also fixed. Come whatever it is, morning I will do my sadhana. I will read, I would chant my rounds. Then that is taken care. Krishna automatically takes care of, also helps in our Swadharma. That is the secret. Now he traveled 1925. He used to travel. Then he also went to Vrindavan, taking the opportunity. Also, he stayed 1 or 2 days. He visited some of the temples and he came back. So Prabhupada utilized his time like this. Then what is happening is he is meeting more Vaishnavas. There is a Maharaj called Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Sorry, Bhakti Pradipa Tirtha Maharaj. He was from Gaudiya Mutt, who was introduced in the Ulta Danga. I told you in Calcutta, he met his spiritual master before moving to Allahabad. Prabhupada, then later he moved to Allahabad. He made his headquarters there and he was trying to spread his business. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj also came from Calcutta to Allahabad. He wanted to establish a Gaudiya Mutt there. So he asked Prabhupada, and because they knew already. So then he invited his house. Then he started helping, funding for him to establish the Gaudiya Mutt. Like that, Prabhupada again, he was inviting all his family members because he came for one Kumbh Mela. Then he met him. Then he invited his house. He served the Vaishnavas like that, and so like that, Prabhupada got connected again to Allahabad. He was instrument in establishing this temple. Now, his father, this episode, we see that his father is sadly passing away. Gaur Mohan, he is passing away. So when he was away to Bombay, he was fell sick, and Prabhupada came and he showed to doctor, and the doctor said he will not survive. So he was asking his father, "What is your last wish?" His father told, "What is the problem? What you are hiding it?" He said, "No, no, just I am going outside business, so I may not be able to fulfill your desires. I just want to do it." And he didn't tell that he's going to die, but he said two things. He said, one is that I want to donate cow to a Gaudiya Mutt. Number one. Number two, invite all the Vaishnavas and do Hare Krishna Mahamantra Japa in our house. Do a Kirtan program and feed them. This was his two wishes. Look at the Vaishnava. He always thinks of Krishna. He always want Hare Krishna bhajan to happen. So in your houses also, after the lockdown happening, you can invite programs. You can invite people. It could be 4 or 5 people. You can have a kirtan. You can make your places very, very auspicious. There is nothing else auspicious. Mangalepi abhi mangalam. Yesterday I was discussing with them. This chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no other auspicious activity than chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It could be your birthday, it could be our anniversary, or it could be a new car you bought, or it could be a new house you are going, or it could be a Upanayana, or it could be a marriage, it could be a birth ceremony, or it could be a death ceremony. You name any festival without pronouncing, having Harinama, Hare Kirtana, it is not fulfilled. This is the more auspicious in the world simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even before I start the class, we do Mangalacharan prayers. We invoke auspiciousness. That's because we take the shelter of these personalities. Why? These are 6 Goswamis. I seek their shelter, I seek their blessing. Then I glorify Krishna, Radha Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking the shelter, and all the Vaishnavas. Then I glorify Harina Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then I start this because it is removes all the auspicious. I mean, it brings all the auspiciousness. So his father peacefully after that he died, and that's how this story is ending. Now we will. It is already 5:18, so we can see that there are two pictures in this. I've showed you already. This are taken in Allahabad. Left side picture, whatever you see, Prabhupada's shaved head after his father passed away, and this is his brother. Right hand side is his brother, left hand side is Srila Prabhupada. Shaved head in Allahabad after his father passing away. They post a picture. And his sons, I think they were already 3 sons, 1 daughter, and 2 sons he had. Those are the sons of Srila Prabhupada in the picture. The right hand side, this was immediately when they moved to Allahabad, this picture was taken. Leftmost corner is wife, and Prabhupada's first son was sitting on the leftmost side. In the center was his father, Gaur Mohan Dev. The right hand side is his sister, widow. She was a widow sister, and she had a boy or girl, I don't know. Behind that was his brother and cousin, somebody like that. So these two pictures were taken in the Allahabad that time. So that's about this week presentation. So I'll open up for any questions, or rather I would ask, what is the one simple takeaway from today's class which you want to implement in your life? It is just not hearing and going. It's also not knowing about the Vaishnavacharyas, but there are simple things which you can say, or which you are already doing it, you want to continue. It could be that what you are doing it already want to continue, or something you want to implement in your life. You can share with me if you are interested, or if you have any questions, clarification, you can ask. I'll be stopping here. I thought of I'll do 2 chapters, but since it is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I thought do only 1 chapter. If there is a chapter is small, I will do 2. Otherwise, I would like to do 1 chapter. So we might extend 16 weeks to maybe another 20 weeks or something like that, 20-25 weeks, whatever possible. But I'm going slowly in this phase so that I can show you some video clips so that you can look at, you can relate the story, you can remember. So I would stop here. I would ask any questions or comment or any realization, feedback if you want to share. And also I have a very important announcement to make. Let me share my screen. Okay. So we have from ISKCON ICC South Bangalore, we are launching a 6-day Bhagavad Gita simplified course. It will talk about 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita: Ishvara, Kala, Prakriti, Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. So we're going to talk about these 5 topics in 6 days. It is be starting 17 July to 22nd July, 7 to 8:30 p.m. daily. And it is all languages: English, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Konkani, Telugu, Tulu, Malayalam. All the languages we are doing it. It is free. What you need to do is you have to simply go to isconsouthbangalore.com and you can register there. When you register, you will be taken to the WhatsApp group. That will give you the Zoom ID and the things details. It is every day 7 to 8:30 p.m. Whatever language you are interested, you can join. You can others also to join. It is completely free. This is an initiative from our ISKCON Temple South Bangalore Kumarsam layout. So kindly forward to your family, friends, like the page, put it in your WhatsApp status, put it in your Facebook, and that way you can also get benefited. This is the program. We are collaborating with many other groups like me. There are so many other groups we are coordinating, and from our group there are 2 people are doing the presentation in English as well as Telugu, and few more places we are doing it. So kindly please register, get more people. We want to register thousands of people for this program. So try to make use of this program. It is a very wonderful program, very lot of information. This is for your information. Okay, that is the announcement which I have to make. So anybody wants to add anything? Abhijit Prabhu, Bindu, Mataji, Maityanathan Prabhu, Lalita, Mataji. So ಇವತ್ತು ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇವತ್ತು what is that one thing you want to apply in your life? Or what is, you may not apply, but at least you want to try, or at least something which you think there is some information you got it today, which it has touched you. One thing, one takeaway today. Anybody wants to volunteer? Sushila Mataji, Pooja Mataji, Sharada Baswaraj, Sanjana, Madhuri Mataji. Anybody wants to talk? Silent.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mataji.
Prabhuji, one takeaway is whatever Guru says, the instruction to take it seriously. I think for us, the instruction from Srila Prabhupada is to chant properly our rounds sincerely, and if possible
Yeah.
to read the books and to follow the regulative principles. So this is what I mean. At that young age, he got the instruction and he prepared for it 40 years, you said, to
Yeah.
execute it. So for us, actually, it is very simple, and we should take that seriously. Is the takeaway for me.
Yeah. So Prabhupada asked, somebody asked, what is pleasing you, Prabhupada? He said, chant rounds and read my books. These 2 things, if you do, I'm happy. So rest of things follows later. But as long as we do that, Srila Prabhupada, this mercy is flowing. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, their mercy is flowing. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is such a powerful acharyas. They're all there in the line. So immediately you'll get a benefit just by chanting and reading in the early morning. As long as we can do our sadhana, then rest of the things fall in place. We don't need to worry about anything. Actually, you will feel more relaxed. You will feel more less tensed. Otherwise, your life will be more miserable. You will be having more solving the material problem. I am telling you this practical example. If you're all facing problem, then you need to start following that. If you don't have problem, well and good. Anybody else want to say anything about the program or any questions or clarifications?
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಬಹಳ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಂಗ ಆಯ್ತು ಗುರುಜಿ ಇವತ್ತು. ಬಹಳ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಬಹಳ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Open our eyes today.
Correct. these life histories are need to be read again and again, even though we know that we should hear it again, so that it transforms. The difference between hearing first time, second time is that sometimes we hear, we know this past time. Most of the devotees are here, they already knew Prabhupada Leela Amrita. Why we need to hear it again? When we hear it, it is from the information level, it moves to the transformation level. Then we can check, am I following this? Yes, I know this. I need to chant, supposed to be chant. You've been telling for so many years. Am I doing it? There is any area of improvement I can do. That retrospective we need to do when we know something which you're hearing for the second time. That time you can ask this question. Okay, am I following it, or how do I follow it? That should be our mood. So what happens is the repetitive hearing. It is not a waste. It becomes a habit. Yesterday we were seeing it. Some of you missed it. I was telling vasanas, how samskaras are happening. The repetitive hearing again, it becomes a habit. Then you will be able to do chant and things like that. So this repetitive hearing is very, very important. We keep hearing again and again. There is no problem. In fact, that helps to transform ourselves.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Sushila Mataji. Anybody else? If not, I'll be stopping here. We are already 5:27, 3 minutes early. So I would like to thank you very much for continuously joining. So it is encouragement for me to read it again and present this. Otherwise, I will be doing something else. So thank you very much. And really thank you very much for all of you joining regularly. And please tell your friends as well. They can also get benefit. So I am ending here in another minute if there are no questions. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhyacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Yo namo namah.
Right.
Hare